Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time, we're going to go way back in time, like 70,000 years.
Oh, wow.
To a period that really, reshaped humanity, right?
Yeah.
The cognitive revolution. You've
Exactly.
probably heard about it, but
Right.
get ready to, uncover some really surprising stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine a time when your ancestors, right, they started thinking in ways they never had before.
Right.
It was just making fire or hunting.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were imagining things that didn't even exist.
Right.
And telling stories that changed, the course of history.
It's amazing to think how that period set the stage for everything that makes us, human today.
Totally.
We often focus on the development of tools, technology.
Yeah.
But the real leap, I think, was in our cognitive abilities, like how we think and communicate.
Okay, so let's paint a picture for our listener.
Yeah.
Before this upgrade, right?
Mm-hmm.
What were our ancestors like?
Mm-hmm.
What was life like 70,000 years ago?
Imagine a world without written language, without agriculture, without cities.
Wow.
Early humans were skilled survivors.
Yeah.
They had mastered fire, crafted tools, and developed hunting strategies.
Right.
But their cognitive abilities were still pretty much in line with other animals.
Okay.
They lived in the present,
right,
reacting to their immediate environment.
Gotcha. So how did this cognitive upgrade happen?
Yeah.
Is it did a light switch just flip on, or?
Not quite. I mean, It was a gradual process.
Yeah.
A series of mutations and adaptations that led to this, profound shift in how the human brain functioned.
Right.
It wasn't just about our brains getting bigger.
Yeah.
It was about developing these new neural pathways.
Okay.
New capacities for language, abstract thought, and imagination.
Huh.
This allowed humans to do things no other species could do.
Like what?
Plan for the future,
Okay.
understand complex relationships,
Yeah.
and believe in shared stories and ideas.
Okay, so that's where it gets really interesting for me. You're saying that, our ability to believe in things that don't actually exist, like gods, nations, money,
Right.
was actually a key factor in our success as a species.
Yeah.
That seems kind of counterintuitive.
It might seem strange,
Yeah.
but you got to think about it.
Yeah.
Believing in a shared God or a set of moral principles helped early humans create social cohesion.
Okay.
It's like an early form of social contract,
Right.
a way to ensure cooperation,
Okay.
reduce the cost of enforcing rules.
Gotcha.
Everyone is more likely to behave
Yeah.
if they believe a higher power is watching and judging their actions.
So these shared fictions acted as a kind of glue in binding larger groups together.
Yep.
But how did this give Homo sapiens an advantage over other human species that existed at the time?
Right.
I mean, weren't Neanderthals, for example, physically stronger than us?
Yeah, Neanderthals were definitely physically more robust, but they lived in smaller groups and lacked the kind of complex social structures that Homo sapiens developed.
Gotcha.
The ability to believe in shared fictions,
Yeah.
along with sophisticated language, allowed Homo sapiens to form larger, more coordinated groups.
So bigger groups meant better defense.
Yes, better defense against predators,
Okay.
more efficient hunting, and a greater ability to adapt
Wow.
to changing environments.
It sounds like gossip, what we might call social media today, right?
Yes.
Played a role in this whole cognitive revolution.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The development of language was essential for gossip.
Okay.
Think of it as an early warning system,
Okay.
a way to share information about threats,
Yeah.
food sources, or untrustworthy individuals within the group.
So knowing who was slacking off
Yeah, I got
or
it.
hoarding the best berries.
Right.
Right. Could mean the difference between survival and starvation.
For sure.
I guess even back then, information was power.
Absolutely.
But how did gossip, this ancient social media, work in practice?
Okay, so imagine one member of a tribe discovers a new berry patch.
Okay.
Through gossip, this information spreads rapidly.
Got
They
it.
learn which berries are safe,
Okay.
the best time to gather them,
Right.
and any potential dangers.
Huh. Interesting.
This shared knowledge gives them a huge advantage
Right.
in a challenging environment.
It's fascinating to think how something as simple as gossip
Right.
could have such a big impact on survival.
For sure.
But if we're talking about information sharing,
Yeah.
we can't ignore storytelling, right?
Right.
We mentioned shared fictions,
Yeah.
but how did storytelling, the ability to create narratives,
Yeah.
fit into this whole picture?
Storytelling was crucial for transmitting knowledge, values, and cultural norms across generations.
Got it.
It wasn't just entertainment.
Right.
It was a way to teach survival skills, reinforce social bonds, and instill a sense of shared identity.
Interesting.
Imagine elders gathering around a fire.
Yeah, sharing stories about successful hunts, encounters with dangerous animals, or the origins of their tribe.
Wow.
These stories were more than just words.
Right.
They were survival guides, moral compasses, and a way to connect with something larger than themselves.
It's amazing to think that this ability to believe in shared stories, whether it's a creation myth or a set of social rules, gave Homo sapiens such a powerful edge.
It did.
It allowed us to coordinate in a way that no other species could.
Right.
It's like we unlocked this hidden superpower, the power of collective imagination.
That's a great way to put it. That superpower allowed Homo sapiens to outcompete other species.
Right.
Adapt to all these different environments, and eventually spread across the globe.
Wow.
But it also raises a really important question.
What's that?
What were the downsides of this cognitive leap?
Oh, interesting.
Did this new capacity for thought, for social organization, did it come at a cost? That's a great question to ponder.
Yeah.
And I think it sets us up perfectly for the next part of our deep dive.
Right.
We've explored the origins and advantages, but now we're going to examine the impact on other human species.
Okay.
And consider, the potential downsides of this remarkable transformation.
I'm ready.
Awesome.
It's interesting. While the cognitive revolution brought all these benefits, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't all, perfect.
Right.
This new capacity for abstract thought, for imagining things that don't exist, also opened the door to conflict, manipulation, and maybe even like existential anxieties that our ancestors never had to deal with.
So while we were busy outcompeting everybody else, we also kind of, planting the seeds of future challenges for ourselves.
Yeah. It's a complex picture.
Yeah.
Consider the impact on Neanderthals.
Okay, yeah.
They were really well adapted to their environments, but they just couldn't compete with Homo sapiens. We're expanding quickly, coordinating in larger numbers, strategizing better, and just exploiting resources more efficiently.
So are we saying that Neanderthals just couldn't keep up?
In a way, yeah. It's not that Neanderthals weren't intelligent.
Right.
They just didn't have the same cognitive adaptations that Homo sapiens had to form these larger, more complex societies.
Gotcha.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
To coordinate a hunt with like 50 people, you need a level of communication and planning that Neanderthals just couldn't do.
It's almost like they were playing a different game.
Right.
One where strength and individual skills were key.
Exactly.
While Homo sapiens were rewriting the rules.
Yeah.
With cooperation, communication, shared goals.
Absolutely.
But were there any interactions between the two groups?
Well.
Like any evidence of exchange or conflict?
Researchers are still figuring that out. There's definitely evidence of interbreeding between them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so at least some level of interaction.
Wow.
Whether it was peaceful or forced or something in between is still up for debate.
Okay.
But we know for sure that Homo sapiens, with their cognitive advantages, became the dominant species.
Yeah.
And Neanderthals disappeared.
It's a reminder that evolution isn't always about physical strength.
Right.
Sometimes the most powerful weapon is a flexible mind.
A flexible mind.
The ability to adapt, innovate, cooperate on a large scale.
Exactly.
And that brings us to another fascinating aspect.
What's that?
Language.
Oh, okay.
We've talked about gossip, storytelling.
Right.
But how did language itself evolve?
Yeah.
And what role did it play in our success?
That's a great question.
Yeah. Language feels like a total game changer.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, without none of this would be possible.
Absolutely not.
The complex thought,
the
shared stories, the coordination.
Nope.
So how did we go from basic grunts and gestures to what we have today?
It's a question that's puzzled people for centuries.
Right.
The exact origins are still a mystery, but there are some interesting theories.
Likewise.
One idea is that language developed alongside tool making.
Okay.
As our ancestors made more intricate tools, they needed a better way to communicate instructions, and share that knowledge.
So building a better spear required a better vocabulary.
Exactly.
Interesting. But how did we go from describing objects
right.
to expressing abstract ideas, emotions, complex thoughts.
Well, it probably happened gradually.
Okay.
Simple vocalizations slowly becoming more nuanced, layered with more meaning.
Okay.
Imagine a group trying to build a shelter.
Okay.
They might start with simple sounds to signal danger or direct each other.
Right.
But over time, those sounds might become words, representing objects, actions, and eventually even abstract concepts.
Like what?
Like strong, safe, together.
Right. It's like building a mental scaffolding.
Yeah, exactly.
Layer upon layer of meaning until you have this incredibly complex tool for communication.
And it's not just about practicality either. It's about expression, sharing our inner world as language developed.
Yeah.
It allowed humans to share their emotions, dreams, fears.
Wow.
It allowed for stories that conveyed knowledge, but also sparked imagination, inspired cooperation, and provided this sense of shared history and purpose.
It was like the birth of art, mythology, this human capacity to make meaning out of the world.
It really was.
This is all so mind-blowing.
I know, right?
We've gone from basic survival to this like explosion of creativity and social complexity.
Yeah. It's incredible.
All driven by this cognitive revolution.
Absolutely.
But I'm curious if it happened once.
Right. Yeah.
Could it happen again?
That's the question.
Could we experience another revolution?
Right.
That fundamentally changes how we think.
That changes how we interact with the world.
That's a great question.
It is.
That scientists and philosophers are thinking about right now.
They are.
Some people argue that we're already in the middle of one.
Right.
Driven by technology.
Yeah.
Especially AI and biotechnology.
Yeah.
But what does that mean for us?
Right.
What are the implications?
What are the good and the bad?
That's what we need to unpack next.
I'm ready when you are.
Okay, so we went back 70,000 years.
Right.
To those, those early days of the cognitive revolution.
Yeah.
We talked about how it affected our ancestors, and now we're looking to the future.
Right.
It's wild to think we could be like on the edge of another cognitive leap.
Another one.
What could that even look like?
It's exciting.
Yeah.
But also a little scary, right?
Right.
Think about the stuff we're developing now.
Oh.
AI.
Yeah.
Gene editing.
Right.
Brain-computer interfaces.
Wow.
These things could completely change our cognitive abilities.
Yeah.
Maybe even blur the line between human and machine.
You're really making me think here.
Yeah.
We talked about the power of shared fictions.
Right.
But what happens when those fictions are like created by AI?
Right.
Or manipulated by AI?
Or what if our memories and experiences can be changed, enhanced?
Digitally.
Yeah, digitally.
It's like a sci-fi novel or something.
Oh, right.
But it feels more real now than ever before.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does.
These advancements raise all sorts of ethical questions.
Right. Like, what happens to the idea of individual identity when our thoughts and memories can be influenced from outside?
Yeah. And how do we make sure these technologies are used responsibly? Yeah.
Fairly.
And how do we prepare for a future where being human might mean something totally different?
That's the big question.
It's a lot to think about. I bet our listeners are feeling that too.
Yeah, probably.
But amidst all this uncertainty, are there any good things to consider?
Oh, absolutely. Okay, like what?
Imagine a world without Alzheimer's.
Wow, yeah.
No more Parkinson's.
Right.
Where learning is faster.
Yeah.
And we can connect with each other on a much deeper level.
That would be incredible.
Right.
So it's not about rejecting progress.
No, not at all.
But about guiding it.
Yeah, about making sure that these advancements help everyone.
Right, not just a few.
Exactly.
A call to action, right?
It is.
To think critically to shape the future we want.
And that's where you come in, dear listener.
Yeah.
The cognitive revolution gave us the power to shape the world.
It did.
But it also gave us the responsibility.
To use that power wisely.
For sure.
As we face these new cognitive leaps.
Yeah.
We need your insights, your creativity.
Absolutely.
Your sense of right and wrong.
To guide us.
Yes.
So, as you keep thinking about the cognitive revolution and what it means for the future, ask yourself, what role will I play?
What stories will I tell?
What choices will I make?
It's up to all of us.
This has been an amazing journey.
It really has.
From ancient campfires to AI.
Think the future.
The cognitive revolution has changed us.
Absolutely.
It's a story of innovation, adaptation, the incredible power of the human mind.
The power of the mind.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
And until next time.
Yeah?
Keep those cognitive wheels turning.
Keep thinking.